San Antonio is known as the Alamo City. It's also Military City, USA. And tonight, the Black Knights of the Hudson descend upon San Antone and the Alamo Dome. Army in town to take on UTSA. The Roadrunners, without their starting quarterback, Frank Harris, the seventh-year senior, out. So Eddie Lee Marburger makes his first career start. But inside the Alamo Dome, this team almost invincible. They've won 7 straight and 17 of the last 18 at home. ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks. UTSA in its first season in the American Conference will take on Army and Independent for now. And with that, we say good evening, Anish Shroff, alongside former Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ware. Paul Carcaterra will be with us in just a moment. When we think of Army, we think triple option. We have to think differently now.
Yeah, we do. We don't think pass first with Army, but they're averaging about 172 yards a game through the air. It's a different look, more of a modernized Army offense where they're in the shotgun. They're going to spread you out, give you a bunch of different looks and a lot of different motions.
When we talk Army, we don't generally talk wide receivers, but Isaiah Alston is that good.
Yeah, he had a fantastic game a week ago. A consistent player with great hands. I don't know that you're going to see a better pair of hands on a receiver. Went off last week for 135 yards receiving and added 2 touchdown catches. With that, an excellent route runner and a guy that's going to challenge you at the top of every single pass.
He's a viral clip waiting to happen. Bryson Daly accounted for 5 touchdowns through the air and on the ground last week. He'll be the one throwing to Alston. And on the other side, Andre, Eddie Lee Marburger starts for Frank Harris. This is big for UTSA. You got a redshirt sophomore making his first career start.
Yeah, Frank Harris is kind of a mainstay around here, but Eddie Lee Marburger was a phenomenal high school player, threw for almost 9,000 yards and ran for almost 2,400. So he has had some production, just hadn't had it in San Antonio yet.
Harris out with a toe injury. In these parts, he's the de facto mayor. Tonight, Eddie Lee Marburger sits in the mayor's chair. From the Alamo Dome, it's the American Conference on ESPN, and UTSA in its first season of the American. Cart, this place has been noisy of late. They're up against Friday Night Lights tonight, but it's still going to get loud.
Oh yeah, the Alamo Dome is a special place in San Antonio, and the city loves their Roadrunners. It helps that UTSA has won 17 of their last 18 games under this roof. Coach Jeff Traylor told me this week, the fans have a special connection to the players and the program, and when this place gets going, it has a European soccer feel to it with big energy. The issue tonight, though, Army isn't your typical away team. 11 players are from Texas, and San Antonio is known as Military City, USA. Coach Traylor's reaction to Army being in town, there will be more Army fans than we would like.
Still a lot of orange in these seats. The UTSA won the toss, elected to defer.
Boy, these have been, we've had some close games over the last few years between these two teams.
And Army will take it out at the 25-yard line. One of the challenges for this Army offense has been up front. New scheme, no longer the under-center triple option. Linemen have to hold their blocks a little longer. And they've got a quarterback, Bryson Daly. He has flashed in the early season, but Andre, this is still a kid making just his 3rd career start.
Yeah, it is. But you know, last week I think he really turned the corner. 72% completion percentage, the 3 touchdowns, and he took care of the football. Did not turn it over, did not have a pass intercepted. That's what you want when you're implementing a new offense. The guy making his 3rd career start, take care of the football.
Daly comes down in the gun. He motions Tyson Riley. The running back is Hayden Reed. Now Reed goes wide. Quick screen at his feet, incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Well, you see the nerves right away from Bryson Daly. You know, that's one that you're an extended handoff. You're just looking to get it in the hands of Hayden Reed and have him turn up the field. Just squeezing it a little too tight where the nose goes down into the turf on you.
This UTSA defense has been living in the backfield in the early season. Daly will keep it. And a powerful run gets him close to the marker. A quarterback has led Army in rushing, it seems, pretty much every year, but every year since 2016.
And excellent blocks in the middle. Lucas Scott, Brady Small, center and guard, right guard respectively, opened up a nice crease for Bryson Daly. And that's something that if you're UTSA, you want to make sure you get a handle on that quickly, because fullback, or whatever they want to call it in this offense, and the quarterback right up the middle, that makes for a long, long night.
UTSA crowding the box, expecting run. They get the run, and Army able to move the chains, and Reed escapes to the outside into Roadrunner territory. He gets inside the 40-yard line of UTSA.
When you think you have him stopped at the line of scrimmage, no one wraps up for UTSA, and Hayden Reed, just the second effort, continuing to move his feet and sliding outside. You get the unselfish play of a couple of receivers on the outside blocking for him. Noah Short, one of those receivers, and that turns into a pretty big play for Army here early.
Now, this was a formation you didn't see a whole lot from Army in the past.
Trips.
Quick throw, it's batted in the air and incomplete.
He was trying to go inside to Simon, or Simon actually batted it down. He's trying to go inside, maybe to Austin here early. That we talked about at the top of the show.
Army in week 1 committed 5 turnovers. Lost to Louisiana Monroe, bounced back with a resounding win last week, albeit against a Delaware State and FCS team.
You're seeing it all. Split back shotgun from
And they will run it to the outside. It's Miles Stewart, 7th carry of the season, turns the corner and bumped out of bounds by the veteran safety Rashad Wisdom. Nice pickup.
Even with the success on first down for UTSA, they've got to come back with it on second down, because it puts Army right back on schedule. 2nd and short, 3rd and short coming up. But just, you cannot allow Army to stay on schedule like this. It's 2nd and longs, 3rd and longs that you have to create defensively if you're going to have any type of advantage against Army's offense.
Army up front has a left tackle in David Hoyt, making his first career start. A true freshman center and a right guard in Lucas Scott, making just his 2nd career start. To the air, and that is incomplete for Noah Short. 3rd down, and this is 4 down territory.
No doubt. When you're throwing that on 3rd down and short, then you know that Jeff Monken has already given the permission to Drew Thatcher, their offensive coordinator. Hey, we're going for it on 4th down. Call whatever you want on 3rd and short.
Jacoby Buchanan, big number 33, 255-pound senior, and he has been their short yardage savant the last few years.
Yeah, he can get it done.
Short in motion, and that's the quarterback, Daly. It's a fullback lead with Buchanan paving the way, and a first down for Army. They're now 5 for 5 on 4th down this season.
You're thinking like I was thinking of Buchanan. There's everybody in here maybe thinking that he's going to get it. He turns into the lead back and throws a heck of a block to give Bryson Daly a little bit of room, and you get the fullback, the quarterback, no nonsense, right into the line of scrimmage, picks it up relatively easy to keep this Army drive going.
Buchanan stays in. He had 2 rushing touchdowns against UTSA last year. Buchanan gets the call and barrels inside the 20 It'll set up a second down and short. Nick Troy fortune the corner with the stop.
They've had success going to the outside. So what's that do? It opens up the middle. They've had success in the middle. So it gives them the outside. And right now, Drew Thatcher, their offensive coordinator, doing a nice job of mixing up the play calling to keep UTSA off balance. This is an excellent opening drive for Army.
And when Buchanan gets it, he is going forward. Let's see if they take a shot here. Two tight ends in the game. Daly moves the pocket, throwing downfield for short. He overthrew him. It brings up third down. And again, Andre, they're treating this like 4-down territory.
And rightfully so. When you get in third down and short like this, I mean, this is where Army lives. They're 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So picking up a half yard or so is going to be relatively easy for them, especially with a back like Buchanan, as well as Tyson Riley, who is now in the game.
Riley's been playing a tight end H-back this year. Last year he was a B-back. That's the fullback in the old school triple option. All of Army's yards on this drive on the ground. Daly hands it off, and it's Reed surging ahead for a first down. And so, Andre, it's not the traditional triple option, but so many of the principles you can see are still in play just from the shotgun.
Yeah, they're still there. It's just moving them to the shotgun to get some of it. And I asked Coach Monken, why did you make the change? Why go to this offense? And it's because of the rule changes where you can't cut block down the field anymore. And so they felt like that was an advantage, or something taken away from them that was an advantage within their offense. They had to make up for it in a little different way.
Right here's a great example. They've got the wishbone
Inverted
out of the shotgun.
wishbone. Yeah.
Option to the right. Daly keeps hit hard, and down he goes. Jamal Ligon with the stop. The all-conference linebacker a season ago when UTSA played in Conference USA.
Felt like Ligon would have a big game. This is the kind of game that would set up for him at 6'2", 225. One of those inside linebackers. And then Trey Moore, the weak side linebacker, who's just a tackling machine. This is a game that the coaching staff kind of felt like he would have a big impact in this one as well.
This will be the 12th play of the drive. Miles Stewart's the running back. Daly keeps. And he doesn't like to slide, absorbing the contact to the 8-yard line, a gain of 5. It sets up third down. Army has 67 total yards on this drive. All have come via the ground game.
Nice job by Daly. He just catches the edge man on the line of scrimmage, crashing down inside, running after the back, which was Buchanan, I think. And then Daly just pulls it, puts him right back in a manageable situation here on third down. Now you may see Army attack the edges where you go to the full option, where there's a pitch man along with a fullback Buchanan.
3 tight ends and the big boy Buchanan, short in motion. Buchanan straight ahead, and he gets to about the 6 and bring up fourth down. Do you go for it?
I think so, but if he doesn't slip, he's going to walk into the end zone. I think he was anticipating being hit, and then he just got too much forward lean, and it took him down. But I agree with Coach Monken here. Go ahead and go for it. They've converted on a couple of fourth downs with Buchanan and as well as Daly. And it's been between the tackles that they've done it.
Fourth down and 2. Another 3 tight end set. Short the motion man. Daly will keep. And he's got a first down for Army. This drive continues.
What a drive.
We're looking at 14 plays. They've eaten up more than 6 minutes of clock. Yeah, it might be from the shotgun, but this is vintage Army. Hang on, a flag is down.
And an Army player, looks like David Crossan, who is on the sideline as well.
Defense number 7. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
What a drive. What a drive for Army to start this game. No nonsense. They get in short yardage situations, fourth down. Hey, doesn't matter. Keep your poise. Let's go for it. And they've converted, and here they are knocking on the door at about the 3-yard line.
First down and goal now from the Roadrunner 3. The give is to Reed. trying to push ahead. Does he get there?
They've gotten in.
No signal yet. And they're going to mark him a little shy. 2nd and goal. And now let's see if they bring in Buchanan.
Good to see Crossan checking himself back in the game, but just a little bit shy was Reed getting himself in. Consistent player, excellent blocker, and that kind of, sometimes you get rewarded when you do the dirty work.
Looked awfully close. Couldn't really tell there where the knee goes down. 16th play of this opening drive. Reed into the end zone for an Army touchdown. What a march by the Black Knights.
How about the block of Crossan? Not sure who the defender was, but he drove him all the way into the back of the end zone. I think it was Dwayne Griffin who gets locked on with a tight end, 85, Crossan, and he just drives him out of the back of the end zone. Some things changed. The formations changed for Army. The progress still comes on the ground.
Might be a remake. It's still the same movie. 16 plays, Andre. 75 yards. Almost 7.5 minutes. Yeah, they're running it from the shotgun, but they're still running it. All of Army's yards on that opening drive came on the ground. A 7-0 Army on top of UTSA. 7.5 to go, opening quarter. An impressive opening statement by the Black Knights. 16 plays, 75 yards, 7:28 off the clock. It was their longest drive in the last 2 seasons from a play standpoint.
Just flat out getting it done in the way they like to do it. They've got a few more toys and a few more answers in their bag, but hadn't had to go to it yet.
Cole Talley to kick it away for Army.
Good kick.
And UTSA will bring it out to the 25-yard line. Making his first career start this evening is the redshirt sophomore from McAllen, Texas, Eddie Lee Marburger. As we told you in the open, he was a record-setting high school quarterback as a senior. 3,300 plus yards through the air, another 1,100 and change on the ground, and he accounted for 62 total touchdowns as a senior.
A lot of production. He just needed an opportunity, and finally he's going to get one tonight with Frank Harris out with a toe injury, and here comes Eddie Lee Marburger.
Frank Harris, the 7th-year senior who owns almost 40 school records. Quick throw on first down to the outside, and it's Joshua Cephas, who had 87 catches a year ago, a gain of 7. Big change up front for UTSA. Their right tackle, Mekhi Hart, went down. He was blocking Frank Harris's blind side. Harris a lefty, so they've changed things up. Ernesto Almaraz, who normally will play center, as the ball comes out, and Army's able to recover. Quintraylon Hammonds recovers the fumble. I was just about to tell you, UTSA had to make some changes on the right side of their line. Center moving to right tackle.
First down.
They got a new right guard in there. You got a backup center playing center. And just after a 7.5-minute drive, right.
Because they opened up a nice crease for Barnes to run through. He breaks a tackle, and then all of a sudden, ball's on the ground from a defender from behind. Army with excellent field position to try to capitalize with his 7-0 lead.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks.
Two names synonymous with college football, Glenn Davis and Doc Blanchard. Mr. Outside, Mr. Inside. They won the Heisman Trophy from 44 to 46. The Black Knights won 27-0-1, winning 3 national championships. Blanchard, Mr. Inside, Davis, Mr. Outside, part of a fraternity that Andre Ware belongs to. On first down, they will run it. It's Kanye Udo.
Joe Evans, welcome to the party.
Let's take a look at our player to watch, brought to you by Dave and Buster.
Yeah, Bryson Daly, just about automatic last week against Delaware State, accounting for those 5 touchdowns that you mentioned, 3 through the air, 2 on the ground, which just kept Delaware State guessing all game long. He was magical, looking to build on that this evening.
Daly's a West Texas kid, grew up in Abernathy, outside of Lubbock. Dad was a high school coach. Little pitch, and there's UTSA making hay in the backfield. A loss of 6. And that is Cam Alexander, the corner.
Connor Finucane missed the block on Cam Alexander, and he's showing you exactly how good of an open field tackler he is. Gets underneath the pad level of Finucane, Connor Finucane, and then makes a heck of a tackle. And this is where you want Army. 3rd down and long and off schedule.
And you got to be wary of Trey Moore, who had 3 sacks last week, number 1 in orange. Play clock winding down. Daly will try to run across the 40. Got a big chunk back, and he's to the 38-yard line, and now a decision.
And he got enough of it to make it a decision, make it decision time for Jeff Monken. And I think he's going to leave, at the very least, leave this group out. Maybe try to draw UTSA off sides and then run a play if you get it to 4th down and short. But the offense still on the field right now.
This UTSA defense, the first 2 games of the season against Houston and Texas State. 18 TFLs and 10 sacks.
How good has Jeff Monken been for Army? Outstanding.
Only the legendary Red Blake has more wins at West Point. They'll go for it. Daly throws downfield, adjusting to the football, incomplete, but a flag down intended for Marshall. Wisdom to safety in coverage.
And it was thrown behind Marshall. And so it was like a fade stop, a back shoulder throw.
Defense number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And the only way Army's going to get out of that is if there's a penalty, I felt like. And sure enough, pass interference on the back end. And it's going to give Army a 1st down. Everything working in favor of Army right now.
That was Kelechi Wachuku, 6th-year senior. There's a lot of experience on this UTSA defense. Reed straight ahead and tunnels inside the 20.
Anish, you mentioned Bryson Daly from Abernathy. It's a small Texas town of only about 3,000 people, and he told me all he remembers is playing sports nonstop. Football, basketball, baseball. He ran track. His grandfather, Buddy Comer, was his football coach from 1st to 6th grade, and his dad, Darrell Daly, was his coach from 7th to 12th. He told me both coaches, they coach the same way. Play harder than your opponent, you have a better chance to win. And how cool is that? You're only 2 football coaches growing up, grandfather and dad.
Did you say Buddy Comer? Not a high school or a coach in high school in 9th grade named Buddy Comer.
Miles Stewart gets the call. 3rd down coming up.
Couldn't be the same. Could do some after the game research.
Might have to find a text message after the game. All right,
but I've been impressed with this group.
And this is, again, one of these situations, 3rd and 4. You know how the Black Knights like to play. And they're going to keep it on the ground. 4-down territory again.
Yeah, you keep an eye on number 85 here, Crossan, who threw a heck of a block. They tend to run behind him when it's this type of situation.
2 tight ends, both to the right. Reed goes that way, gets a push, and he's going to be close.
Right behind Crossan.
And no movement on the bench.
6'3", 250 pounds, and was getting tremendous push. Got off the ball a little bit late. And Crossan's still in there, and they're going that direction. That tells you what they think of big number 85. It is again, 4th down. And Army not hesitating to go for it here. And after the success they had on that first drive, How can you blame him?
Crossing on the right side of the line. Daly runs weak side, picks up a first down, and Army now 7 for 7 on 4th down this season.
Boy, they are playing chess right now because everybody in here, myself included, thinking Drew Thatcher going to go right behind Big Crossing, and he goes the other way. So if we're guessing, what do you think that UTSA is doing right now? Subbing a bunch of guys in there, rotate as many as 9 defensive linemen in and out of the game.
How demoralizing is this for a defense when you know the other team's going to run it
And you can't stop them? It is the worst. It is the worst thing that you can have happen to a defense. Because at that point, you start to crowd the line of scrimmage, you go 8 in the box, and guess what they're going to do? Pick it up and throw it at that instant.
UTSA only had 10 men on the field. They call a timeout. Army's had the ball pretty much this entire first quarter. Anish Shroff, Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra, Drew Thatcher was brought in to be the offensive coordinator along with who they already had in-house and Matt Drinkall. And Drew Thatcher has a pretty cool backstory. This guy was a cult hero in a lot of ways in the college football coaching circles.
Yeah, he really was running this gun option. He was doing it at Nebraska Kearney, a D2 school. And I mean, Jeff Monken identified him. He said as soon as I interviewed him, I knew he was the guy we wanted and the direction in which we wanted to take our offense. And I tell you what, he has been magical calling plays tonight. All you want is the advantage at some point in the game. He's had it the entire game that they've been on offense. And I mean, keeping this UTSA defense on its heels, off balance, going left when they're thinking right. And he hadn't even started throwing the ball yet.
0 for 4 passing. They'll keep it on the ground. And there is Big Boy Buchanan into the end zone. 26th career rush touchdown.
Tough inside runner, and he gets some excellent blocks inside. Brady Small again. Lucas Scott opening up some nice holes on that along the inside portion of the offensive line. This is just good push, and Buchanan keeping those big legs, just driving 6 feet, 255. How about this start for Army?
The extra point good. So off the fumble by Barnes, Army takes advantage of the short field. 8 plays, 41 yards, and a little less than 6 minutes. Andre, here we are with 1:15 to go in the opening quarter. And UTSA has had the ball for all of 26 seconds.
2 plays UTSA has run, but I've been more impressed with the offensive line and the tight ends of Army controlling the line of scrimmage. We thought UTSA bigger, especially along the defensive front, where they go, you know, they've got guys 340 pounds, and Joe Evans, who we called his name, Brandon Brown out of Katy, Texas, Morton Ranch High School, a Tulane transfer. He's in there at 310 playing nose tackle. That they would be the ones reestablishing the line of scrimmage. It's been Army.
And Army again doing it tonight with a left tackle, David Hoyt, making his first career start. Brady Small, a true freshman center. First true freshman to start an opener for Army a couple of weeks ago since 2017. And then Lucas Scott at right guard, just his second career start. And that unit struggled in that first game against ULM. UTSA ball at the 25, and now a quick word from Verbo.
A place for touchdowns to be passed down from generation to generation. To generation. Verbo. Football away, baby.
Meanwhile, UTSA beat up offensively as well. Their starting right tackle, Mekhi Hart, is out. They've had to shuffle the offensive line. Ernesto Almaraz is playing right tackle. He can play there. He was the center. Luke Lopez and Corey Godin had both making their first career starts in the O-line as Rocco Griffin, the Vanderbilt transfer, rumbles out for a pickup of 15 to the 40-yard line. He was Vandy's leading rusher 2 years ago.
Yeah, he is a quick twitch kind of runner. Can make you miss in the hole.
Marburger incomplete through the hands of Tyke Ogle-Kellogg. And again, Frank Harris, seventh-year starter. He is not just the face of the program, he is the de facto mayor of San Antonio, out today with a toe injury. So you've got the number 2 quarterback in. And oh, by the way, UTSA, one of their top receivers, DeCorian Clark, we may not see him. He hasn't played really much all season except for 1 snap last week.
They try to get Eddie Lee Marburger going the first series with a quick pass.
Play action, pressure from Charlo. It's Carden as the tight end in the flat. Dragging Spencer Jones near midfield. It's going to be a little short of the marker, 3rd down and 1.
Medina's going to put on the grown man shoes there. Out of San Antonio right here, local product. And just carrying defenders with it.
Screen to the outside, it's caught. And that is Cephas, and he's got enough to move the chains.
What you like about that is there's no hesitation with Cephas. In order to make a play like that go, you've got to be willing to just take what's there. And if you make a guy miss, so be it, and you get extra, but you got to live with the result as soon as you're contacted. And Cephas there realizing exactly what he needed to pick up the first down.
Early on, a lot of screens to get Marburger comfortable, and now we come to the end of quarter number 1.
That's
Pretty quick, huh, partner?
Army had the ball for 13 minutes plus. All they did was run it. 101 yards on the ground. 14-0 Black Knights of the Hudson.
Welcome back to San Antonio with Army head coach Jeff Monken. Coach, you went for it 3 times in the first quarter. Why so aggressive on 4th down?
We have to be aggressive. That's the way we have to play here. We've always played that way here, and this is a great football team, a veteran team, well coached, and if we don't take advantage of the opportunities we got, we can't wait for another time down the road here. So I was really proud of our guys for executing there and converting.
You controlled much of the clock in the first quarter. What's critical defending UTSA?
But they're so fast and they're so athletic, and as you can see, when we go out there and stand across from each other, they're way bigger than us, and they're going really fast right now. So we got to match that, get lined up, and do a good job of stopping the run. And they've run the ball effectively, and that's a concern. So we got to do a better job with that.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
Marburger hit as he throws it out of bounds. Kyle Lewis in pursuit. 3rd down and 3 coming up for UTSA, and up the Roadrunners in their first 2 games. Some issues finishing drives. They've been able to move the ball, but the point total hasn't jumped off the page.
Don't be surprised here if they don't. This is 4-down territory for UTSA, where you go for it here, maybe throw it on 3rd down, and then you come back. The way they've been running the football, wouldn't be surprised if it's 2 runs in a row if they're short here on 3rd down.
To the air on 3rd down, quick throw, catch is made, tackle made immediately. Willie McCoy, the reception, and in coverage, Cameron Jones. It's enough to move the chains. 1st and 10 inside the Army 40.
And Jones was lined up so soft that it gave an easy hitch route on the outside, and a nice catch and throw by Eddie Lee Marburger.
Robert Henry, the new running back. Low snap. Screen pass to the outside. Cephas. And with a nice play after the catch.
Nice block by Kellogg on the outside. You want unselfish. When you're running plays, screens, quick tunnel screens, things of that sort, you got to have some unselfish players.
Tempo, and there's Henry, the JUCO Offensive Player of the Year last season at Jones College in Mississippi. Back to the ground, back to Henry. We've seen all 3 backs, Barnes, Griffin, and Henry, and it's Leo Lowen with the stop. Lowen last year led Army with 100 tackles.
They'll all get carries. Barnes got the most, but he put it on the ground early. We haven't seen him since the fumble went right to Griffin, and then now Henry. I tell you what, this UTSA offense it's awake now.
On the ground again, Henry navigating the tight space and in for 6.
What a move by Henry. Got a good block from Haynes, the right guard up front. That opened the hole, and then he just beats the safety. Domenico, who is coming up in the hole, just gave him one move to the left and then off to the races. Henry goes. Well, you see why he was the junior college player of the year.
1,300 rushing yards last season, leading all JUCO players.
Some pretty good junior college football in Mississippi, man. Really good junior college football.
Prior to the snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, replay the try.
For Henry, his first touchdown as a road runner. And UTSA going 11 plays, 75 yards in 3.5 minutes. They do it a little differently than Army.
Yeah, a little bit differently. Kind of a little more balance to what they're doing, but here they come. 11 plays, 75 yards. They give it to Robert Henry. Heck of a move. The junior college player of the year gets into the end zone in UTSA to within 7.
Anish Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra. This weekend, tomorrow in the Swamp, number 11 Tennessee pays Florida a visit, and then the game nobody's talking about. Number 18 Colorado against Colorado State. Jay Norvell throwing shade. Deion Sanders wearing shades. Colorado has become must-watch. They have become the team that provides the theater now in college football, and Deion Sanders has done that in all of 2 weeks.
You know, I explained that to my son. It's like watching a real reality show. I mean, play out right in front of you, and you can't get enough of it. They've done one heck of a job in terms of the exposure that he's created for Colorado.
There is Drew Thatcher, offensive coordinator, and we're seeing it a little from Army tonight. This offense with Thatcher and co-OC Matt Drinkle, it's a fusion of power run, option, and spread principles. And Thatcher was the play caller you mentioned earlier at Nebraska Kearney. His first season there, his team ran for 4,100 yards.
Official stoppage.
And you talk to Jeff Monk, and he says, hey, we got to have something that's a little bit different that we wanted to implement here. And they go to the shotgun, which no opponent that's played Army in the past however many years. You're so used to seeing the quarterback under center running the option. It's a different look and tough to prepare for.
That's Army's first completion. It's Markel Johnson. And he rumbles across midfield into Roadrunner territory, a pickup of 26.
Thank goodness for Martavis French for UTSA. One of their linebackers, their jack linebacker, gets him around the heels. Otherwise, see you later, bye. It's going to be Markel Johnson to the end zone. I don't think there's a player that could catch him. He's got some speed, and what the coaching staff has told us.
First catch of the season for the junior out of Georgia. Out of the split backs look. And not much going on there. UTSA erases it in the backfield. And a loss of a yard.
French again kind of reestablishing the line of scrimmage for the Roadrunners. Just barely, and I mean barely. It didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Actually about a half-yard loss or so. So now you have Army off schedule, which is exactly where you want them. 2nd down and long, 3rd down and long.
These next 2 plays, though, if you're Army,
you get across midfield, it's 4-down territory.
Exactly. This is Reed. He's got nowhere to go. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Now they give him maybe a yard on forward progress. Joe Evans, the LSU transfer in his second season with UTSA with the tackle.
Well, when you know you have 4 downs, it makes it tough defensively because you can't blink at any time. You've had 2 successful plays on 1st and 2nd down, but you can't give up 5-6 yards on 3rd down because now you're going to face Army going for it again. So you got to stay locked in the entire time you're on defense and every down within the series.
Daly moves the pocket. Pressure, hit, throws, downfield, jump ball, and caught!
What a catch.
Noah Short brings it in. 3rd catch of the season. 1st down Army inside the 15 of UTSA.
And he did it against arguably the best player on the defensive side of the football for UTSA, Rashad Wisdom. He just goes up and the quarterback Daly just puts it up. Go make a play for me. And that's exactly what Noah Short did.
Wow. UTSA, they brought Cam Alexander on the corner blitz, so Wisdom in coverage. And Daly able to get rid of the ball and Short with a terrific play to adjust and make the catch. Up the middle. And it's Reed forces his way inside the 5, a gain of 7.
Boy, and it's just, this is just all effort on the part of Noah Short. Identifying the ball in the air, Daly just, hey, go make a play for me. That's just trust between quarterback and receiver. He identifies it in the air. Maybe Wisdom lost it, but a heck of a job of concentrating and finishing at the end of this one by Short.
The give is to Reed. He's got 1 touchdown already. And he's going to be shy of the marker. So 3rd down. And again, Andre, we've said it. The Army, when they feel like they can get close and 3rd and 4th down is manageable, they go for it.
And they can pick up a 1st down right around the 1-yard line or so. But Drew Thatcher, he's calling the correct plays. Now it's on Daly to read it. They are Jacoby Buchanan back in the game, but they're giving the pull. So show it inside and pull it. Now the plays are on the outside because UTSA, they're loading up inside.
2 tight ends to the right. Daly going right, and Robinson devours him for a loss of 3, 4th down.
You have to kick this one. Take the points if you're Jeff Monken down here close because you're going backwards. But excellent penetration up the field. Nice job of just kind of shedding blocks. They are doing a heck of a job on the outside. Robinson with a nice play there.
This will be a 23-yarder for Quinn Moretsky. 7 for 7 inside 30 for his career. And Army has now scored on all 3 drives. 17-7. Black Knights lead in a place where UTSA has won 7 straight. We take a look at Austin Hill of Army as we honor those who serve, brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Hill, his grandfather was a West Point grad and a colonel. He's on the watch list for the Werfel Trophy, which is the top community service award in college football. Kark with more on Austin Hill.
Yeah, Austin Hill is also our Friday night spotlight. If the demands of being a student athlete at West Point weren't enough, Hill has made it a priority to spend countless hours helping others, visits local schools and reads to elementary school students, has donated over $1,000 in brand new books to a school in his home state of Tennessee. He volunteers at a food bank in the Hudson Valley, and he's helped run free football camps and a women's sport camp called Lead Her. He told me giving back allows him to build others' self-esteem and confidence, and this is all instilling a principle in him to protect others who could be vulnerable.
I'll tell you what, it tells you what his teammates think about him as well. Voted as a captain of this team, comes to work every single day and plays with a motor that is unmatched by anybody in this program.
He's like a Tasmanian devil on the defensive line. And Andre, it's one thing to be a captain. Being a captain at a place where everyone is trained to be a leader, something more.
That makes you stand out a little bit more, and that's exactly what Austin Hill is. He is respected within this program. One heck of a football player as well.
Kevorian Barnes, who fumbled on his only carry, is in the backfield. And he gets it here on first down. Barnes comes into the game on a streak of 4 straight 100-yard games. And you go back to last year when he was the Conference USA Freshman of the Year. He did all his work in about 8 games.
Averaged about 5 yards a carry coming into the game tonight.
And that is complete to Chris Carpenter, transfer from Colorado.
You know, one thing, when you watch UTSA on film in preparation for the game and you see all 3 running back, all 3 attack the line of scrimmage. So you don't get any downtime when from one back to the next. They all run extremely hard.
Eddie Lee Marburger to the air. Throws down the seam too high on a Joshua Cephas, who had 10 catches against Army last year.
When Draylon Hammond's on the back end, the senior safety in coverage, and right there step for step.
Time of possession heavily tilted in Army's favor. Black Knights have had it for almost 19 minutes.
Expected, but not this early. It usually plays out that way over the course of a game, but not in the first quarter.
Yeah, plus 15 here in the second quarter. Barnes trying to get to the outside. Blown up in the backfield. It's Khalib Fortner.
Fortner was a 3-time All-State title game MVP. A lot of production out of Knoxville, Tennessee Central High School, and he just sees it, reads it, and goes right downhill, sells out. 53 is going to sell out to get to the ball carrier Barnes. And if he misses, look out.
Now 3rd and long, 4 wide. Pressure. Marburger throws underneath. He's got Cephas. Gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, and UTSA forced to punt.
A nice job, because all they had to do was keep the ball in front of the down and distance marker, not giving up the first down. They got a little aggressive, brought a blitzer, came after Marburger, and not going to allow the youngster to get his footing in this game where he's standing in the pocket surveying things. They realize he's had some production as a high school player. He's capable of doing it. Just don't want to let him get himself started.
Lucas Dean is a weapon in the punt game, an All-American in 2020. Fair catch made by Cameron Jones. 17-7 Army ball. 5:50 remaining in a very quick first half. Kick off your Week 2 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the app. All the breaking stories, injury updates, and game previews. And then Monday night, a doubleheader. Saints and Panthers, 7 Eastern on ESPN. Bryce Young's first game in front of the home crowd, trying to get the first win. Derek Carr, most established QB in that division, as Daly runs it on first down.
We'll have a little interest in that game.
A little interest in that game. And then Browns Steelers at 8 Eastern. Cleveland coming off a Week 1 win against Cincinnati.
So the Steelers can rebound after that whipping they took from the 49ers and Bryce Purdy. Colts, Texans. Be interested in that one on Sunday.
Pittsburgh on Monday night, 20 straight home wins. Last loss came to the Giants in '91.
That's a lot of pressure with who they're playing.
And that might have been a Ray Handley coached Giants team. Screen pass to the outside. It's Johnson. It'll bring up a 3rd down from Army. And this is a big play. UTSA, you get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Army gets a first down on this drive. They continue to eat clock. boy, this game gets shrunk even more so.
Yep, and it puts a lot of pressure on UTSA, on the Roadrunners. But right now, Army's got a set of problems all of their own with this third down situation, because being as where they are on the field, if they're short, they're going to have to punt the football. You just got to keep them from getting this 5 yards if you're UTSA.
The give is to Miles Stewart. And he's about a yard shy. It's going to be 4th and 1, Andre. Minus territory, but the way Army has run the football and moved the ball today, they're going to bring in Buchanan.
Guess who's coming?
We showed you
85.
the graphic earlier. Yeah, you got Cross
coming in.
And then Buchanan, we showed you the graphic earlier. Almost 300 carries in his career. Only 2 have gone backwards.
Jeff Monken came to win tonight. If they snap this football, they indeed snap it. There's no doubt before they boarded the plane, he came to San Antonio to leave with a win.
Buchanan, the running back in the pistol. UTSA crowds the line. They give it to Buchanan like a hammerhead to the 40-yard line. First down. 4 for 4 on 4th down tonight.
The big fella, 6 foot 255. Jacoby Buchanan was the fullback in their center,
Second time out of the half.
under center
UTSA.
option attack. Tough to stop then. He likes it even more now because they're more spread out, and he can hit you from a lot of different angles.
He's got a little more ground to cover coming from the pistol and the shotgun.
Run and start.
He still gets the job done.
Sling TV.
And gentlemen, thank you. I feel bad for the guys in the studio.
I feel bad for Milroe. All you want as a quarterback, if you have a bad outing, is to come back and right it the next time out. I think the opponent that they have, obviously they can do that. He can get himself right. Won't even get the opportunity. And that's just after one game.
It's a high bar in Tuscaloosa. I was going to say, I feel bad for Coach and Matt. Normally, they probably had more time to go through their Bristol Cafe dinner. Not with the way this first half is.
They're eating fast, you're saying, huh?
Make that grilled cheese sandwich quickly. Over the middle. It's complete.
What a throw.
That's the first catch for Isaiah Alston. This kid's a stud. 6'4", 200 pounds, 3 catches, a $135, 2 TDs last week.
Everything about this tells Bryson Daly, do not throw it. First of all, pressure, then he's throwing back across the middle against his body. Alston's right there, kind of building on last week's game.
Now the player down for UTSA is Trey Moore, who has been nothing short of a wrecking ball for this Roadrunner defense.
Well, he's kind of the Frank Harris of the defense, a younger player, but still, and I mean from an importance standpoint, he gets after you. 3 sacks last week in their game against Texas State. And he's just everywhere as a player. They can ill afford to lose him for any period of time.
He was originally an Army commit, local kid from San Antonio, and this coaching staff, when we talked to them, they were very candid. They say we dropped the ball on Trey Moore in evaluation, in recruiting. They looked at him during COVID but could not see him in person. And so all they saw was on video. It looked like he was going to go to Army, spent the day at West Point, realized that, hey, that wasn't the place for him. Coaching staff made amends. Jeff Traylor's line was, we got in late, he forgave my sins and came home. And
sometimes you just want to finish second.
He's turned out to be a big-time playmaker for 2 years now on this defense. Pass is incomplete in the general direction of Marshall, second down.
He's got 2 legit wide receivers, and Marshall, who's capable of hitting a home run, and we talked about Alston at the top. He can certainly hit it. He's getting big cover, big cushion up top. So you might want to think about taking an easy little 6-yard hitch and then get yourself the 3rd down and medium. But a soft coverage up top on Alston.
And remember, when that clock dips under 2 minutes, then the clock will stop on first downs until the official signals. Army's got all 3 timeouts as well. Daly, quarterback draw. And he gets out to the 42, a gain of 3, so 3rd down and 7. Timeout is called by UTSA, so the road runner's out of timeouts. And
Third and
you see the
final timeout of
calculus
the
here.
half.
UTSA thinking get a stop, get the ball
30
back.
seconds.
They can drive down the field. They don't need timeouts the way their offense is structured.
But what they haven't kept in mind was cross midfield, 4-down territory. So you're burning it, but I got a feeling any success or any positive yardage here for Army, and gets them closer to the down and distance marker, they go for it on 4th down.
Army tonight only 3 of 9 on 3rd down, but 4 for 4 on 4th.
4th down. So it's the magic down has been 4th down for this Black Knights team.
Andre, you look at possessions. Here we are, 2:20 to go.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
This is only the 4th possession for Army.
Time of possession, 21 minutes. They're just dominating in that category.
Army has scored on every drive.
I don't know that I'd run at Big Joe Evans. The hit he dished out earlier in the 1st quarter.
5-man pressure. Daly throws to the outside.
Timing.
And it's complete. Casey Reynolds. That's the first career reception for Reynolds, who, by the way, doubles as a defensive midfielder for Joe Alberici on the Army lacrosse team.
Yes, you are watching Army on offense. The timing of that throw was just magical. That's what made the play.
Daly dancing. Throws it. Alston trying to bring it in with one hand. He's capable. Ran out of real estate. 2nd and 10.
He's more than capable of bringing that baby in. You mentioned with one hand.
Alston's had a habit of doing this. This was in August. I mean, I'm not even sure that's one full hand, maybe 3 fingers.
That's amazing. Hey, look at this one. Laying down in the locker room and just time and time again. No gloves. And he's letting them know that. That's salty right there.
He's 6'4", 200 pounds from Carteret, New Jersey, outside of Newark.
They'd love to get him the ball on a slant when they go 3-by-1.
Daly again moves the pocket. Takes a hit and too high for Noah Short. 3rd and 10. 1:57 to go.
Ligon, Jamal Ligon, free runner on the quarterback, forced it out of the hands of Bryson Daly a little bit sooner than he wanted to throw it, so he couldn't get his eyes down the field. He was going to his left, really couldn't square up to throw it accurately, and that was because of the pressure by Ligon.
All right, Andre, 3rd down.
Looking for 5 if you're Army. That's all you're looking for right here.
UTSA is out of timeouts. And they get about 3, so 4th down inside the 30, and now Jeff Monken can bleed some clock. He doesn't have to decide right away, and it is the field goal unit coming on.
Yeah, Talley is kind of the short, more accurate kicker. And then they go to a different player when they want to go a little bit longer. Martsky.
And it looks like they're going to run this play clock down and take a timeout. Timeout by Jeff Monken. These are our featured games on ESPN Plus this Saturday. Oklahoma State hosting South Alabama.
That'll be a good one.
Texas Tech, much like Jeff Traylor at UTSA, has another former high school football coach from the state leading the way in Joey McGuire. Red Raiders are home for Tarleton State, and then
Love
Auburn.
some Joey McGuire. You talk about energy, and has got his finger on the pulse of everything in Lubbock. He is a solid football coach. And that first game, South Alabama and Oklahoma State, it's going to be a better game than people think. South Alabama can get it done.
Auburn welcomes Samford to Jordan Hare at 7 Eastern as well. This UTSA program has blossomed under Jeff Traylor and Frank Harris in the Alamo Dome. They've won 7 in a row, 17 out of 18, but Army has had its way, especially on offense. So Quinn Moretsky, who has been more of their short yardage field goal guy, will come on and attempt a 45-yarder. This would be a career long. His prior career long 40. Moretsky's kick is up. We're indoors, and he sneaks it through, and it makes it 20-7. Army with 1:06 to go. UTSA out of timeouts. They received the kickoff. They received the third quarter kickoff as well.
Moretsky, no problem whatsoever. Hits this thing, gets right under it, and it'd have been good for. They like him from 55 and in. I think that one had plenty of leg. If it was 55, it would have been good. The sucker was still climbing when it went through.
Jeff Traylor was the Conference USA coach in the last 2 years, coach of the year in the league. And this is UTSA's first year in the American, picked to finish second behind Tulane, but down 20-7 to Army. Offense has been a struggle. Frank Harris, who's not starting tonight, really has not been healthy since the bowl game. He had 4 procedures on his knee, then hurt his shoulder in training camp. Then
tonight it's a
get
toe.
in game 2, it's the toe. And he's had an injury history in the past, torn ACLs, another shoulder injury. So you got a backup quarterback. Your starting right tackle is out. You're missing a big-time receiver in JT Clark. Defense has been ahead of the offense in the early going.
And they need to go down and put some points on the board right here before the half. They're going to get the football first to start the second half. Need points here.
Marburger, 7 out of 10. Completes near side. That's McEwen. Stops the clock with 59 seconds.
McEwen, the true freshman from Jacksonville High School, home of Craig Alexander, ex-teammate.
McEwen's got some speed. Short throw again underneath.
Nice tackle.
And the tackle made inbounds that time by Eric Ford. So the clock continues to run. It's short of a first down. Clock will stop on a first down since we're under 2 minutes, but no timeouts for the Roadrunners.
Got Ford in there for his pass rushing skills.
Again, a quick hitter to the sideline. First down, Cephas. And that stops the clock with 36 seconds.
You can hit a few of those along the sideline. That sets you up nicely for an out and up, or hitch and go, or slant and go. Something in the quick game that actually revolves off the quick game. So you start jumping routes. Now you make yourself vulnerable for a double move.
Pressure from up the middle. Happy feet, high throw. It's brought in and tackled near midfield. Leo Lowen with the stop. Robert Henry the catch. Clock continues to run, going quickly. And Marburger spikes it. 20 seconds to go. First half. And now if you're UTSA, you want to at least give your field goal kicker a shot before halftime. So how do you manipulate these final 20 seconds, 3rd down and 2 with no timeouts?
You're thinking field goal. The bonus would be if you get a shot to put the ball into the end zone, but you're just trying to get the field goal range. Now with 3rd down and short here, if you throw it over the middle, you're going to have to hustle down to get the ball spiked and where the clock stops. And I don't know that they're going to have a whole lot of time in order to get that executed.
Chase Allen's career long last week, 46 yards. Marburger takes a big hit, throws for Ogle Kellogg. Incomplete, 14 seconds to go. And does this take the middle of the field now out of play?
I think so. When you have, that ate up 6 seconds just to run the play, but then trying to get down and spike one, that's going to be tough.
4th down, 2 to go.
And that's accounting for a completion that gets you into field goal range. You got to account for the routes developing down the field long enough.
Marburger on the move. Will he run for it? He will. He's tackled in bounds. He got the first down. That'll momentarily stop the clock. The field goal team, will they come on or will they spike it? They're going to spike it. And he does spike it. It stops the clock.
Something's got to come off the clock because it stopped with 7 seconds, and then he spiked it and no time ran off. So they're going to have to reset the clock.
And that's what they're
here.
going to do. A couple of seconds will
The
come off
result of
here.
the first play was inbounds. The quarterback went to spike the ball, and the clock never ran. Clock operator, please take 2 seconds off the game clock and put it to 5 seconds.
And something to remember here, if they do call a play,
Thank you.
you're not going to have enough time to spike it.
The game
It's
clock will
probably
start on the
irrelevant, but you
snap.
always need to have at least 2 seconds on the clock to spike it.
You might be able to get a quick out here. And it looks like.
Or do you just launch it?
I think you can maybe get
A timeout by Army.
Second charge time out of the half.
their business in order. But I think a quick out in front of Cameron Jones. He's playing so deep that you can catch this and whip it outside in about 3 seconds to give yourself 2, and then maybe try a long field goal by Chase Allen here. They'd like him from 42 and in. I don't know that he's going to get to that, but he'll at least get an opportunity to put one up.
If you're UTSA, I think you have to look at it as you want to give yourself at least 1 play to get points, whether that's a deep bomb downfield or it's a field goal.
Quick out, a catch and get out of bounds where you have a second or 2 left to get a field goal up.
So if you're Army, you know they want the sideline.
I'd go 2 high safeties and then bring the corner down a little bit so that you don't get the quick outs. Look how deep the corners are. The corners are really, really deep.
Army plays 7 off the line. This is going to be a Hail Mary. Eddie Lee Marburger heaves one to the end zone. Ogle Kellogg might have caught it. He did! Prayer answered. Touchdown, the Roadrunners.
Wow. That's as impressive as Noah Short in the first quarter going over.
The ruling on the field
Rashad
of the catch for a
Wisdom.
touchdown is under further review.
And all of a sudden, Ogle Kellogg comes right back. And you're just trying to buy yourself enough time, if you're Eddie Lee Marburger, for routes to get down the field. He does a nice job of working the pocket and then puts some air under the football. Go get it for me. It's exactly what Ogle Kellogg was able to do.
He's the guy you want to throw it up to. 6'5", 225, a 6th-year senior who's waited his turn behind some really talented receivers. And he's been starting with DeCorian Clark out.
Yeah, he had a decent game last week with 6 catches for 78 yards.
They are looking at it, all scoring plays reviewed.
I'm gonna look at that one all night. That should be 6 points. But we were wrong last week. A bunch. I don't know that we were wrong. I feel pretty good about our stances on replays last week.
Ruling on the field was a touchdown. So indisputable video evidence needed to overturn the call, and that looks clear as day. Makes the catch,
Throw by
comes down.
Marburger. He does not look like he's making his first start. Looks composed.
After reviewing the play, the receiver caught the ball. It is a touchdown. We will try the extra point.
That's a bonus possession right there, because you're going to catch it. That's a touchdown. Time is expired. You're going to get the ball first to start the second half. You can essentially take the lead with 1 possession into the second half. Got to knock this baby through, though. Can you believe they got behind coverage? As deep as the defenders, the secondary was.
6'5". The PAT is good. And the Roadrunners, as Andre said, will get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. The name of the city is San Antonio. Literal translation, Saint Anthony. The miracle of St. Anthony to bring the first half to a close. Army still leads 20-14. Third quarter in San Antonio from the Alamo Dome. Army with a 20-14 lead on UTSA. ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks, all a part of the American Conference on ESPN. UTSA year one in the American. Lots of chatter about maybe Army taking SMU's spot in the league next year. But in the present, in the here and now, and Ishraf Andre Ware, well, this game turned in the final moments of that first half. Army was controlling everything. Little Hail Mary by Eddie Lee Marburger at the end.
A little Hail Mary action, and then right now, if UTSA comes out as dominant as Army was in the first half of that game, they come down and score, they have a lead and control of the football game.
Let's take a look at our progressive game flow. Army had the ball for more than 22 minutes in that opening half. They did what they wanted early on the ground.
Impressive early touchdown run, put Army up 7-0 in that ball game, and then all of a sudden came back. Buchanan with a touchdown run. They were well in control of things. All of a sudden, Mr. Eddie Lee Marburger got going, and this Hail Mary at the end of the first half drew UTSA ever so closely that if they go down and score here, they take their first lead of this ball game.
Army's been aggressive, 4 for 4.
Look at the time of possession.
Downs. Time of possession tilted, but UTSA gets the ball to begin the second half as we check in with Paul Carcaterra.
Anish, I just caught up with Jeff Traylor, the head coach of UTSA, and he told me it's been real frustrating for his offense. They've only had the ball 7 minutes, so any type of flow or establishing their tempo has been tough. That's why he said this first drive is critical for them to find their identity. Defensively against the Army offense, he said the biggest frustration on that front has been they've been pretty good on first down, stopping the run. But quarterback Bryson Daly, he said he's running around sometimes making plays like Joe Montana, where on second down they're thinking, okay, we got him, but it's been tough.
I like the run here if you're UTSA.
And that's what they start with. It's Rocco Griffin. Powers his way through a big hole to the 45. A gain of 20 for the Vanderbilt transfer.
I mean, right up the middle. Almaraz, the right guard. Haynes, the right tackle, open up a nice hole for him, and they come right back to him again on second down. Army, until they prove to me that they can stop this rushing attack of UTSA, I would continue to go to it. And then mix in some three-step drop because of the depth of these corners. Some easy throws for Eddie Lee.
It's an impressive backfield as Griffin gets the call again. It'll set up a 3rd and short. If you were not with us in the opening half, UTSA without its starting quarterback, Frank Harris today. Harris has started 44 games in his career. He owns 39 passing records. And on 3rd down, Kyle Lewis, the big nose tackle from Scottsdale, Arizona with the stop. And now an early decision to begin the 3rd quarter for Jeff Traylor.
They have lost about a half yard, and they're going to go for it here across the 50, 4-down territory. Little quarterback sneak.
Marburger, the snap and movement.
Somebody along the right side, I don't know if it was Almaraz or Haynes. Somebody jumped early. I don't know, maybe a tight end. This is going to be a false start here.
False start. Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Andre, remember, they've had to shuffle their offensive line. Almaraz normally the center the first couple of games. They moved him out to the right side. No Mekhi Hart. You got Corey Godinet, who made his first start today.
Nice, yeah.
Moving pieces.
Just a little bit of a flinch.
They'll still go for it here on 4th down. 6 to go now. In plus territory. Eddie Lee Marburger's got time. Lets it fly down the seam. Cardenas reaching. There's a flag down.
And it's going to be pass interference. And Cardenas, they're trying to make one acrobatic catch. I don't know. I thought if it was interference, it must have happened early. With Charlo just kind of
Pass
tracking him.
interference. Offense, number 9.
Oh, they call
The penalty is
offense.
declined. It's a turnover on downs. First down, Army.
And if I'm Army right here with that stop, I'm going up top.
So they call the penalty on Cardenas. Watching the replay, you're wondering, what did Charlo do wrong? And they get it on Cardenas, and now Army will take over.
I'm taking a shot right here. I'm already across the 50.
And if they're going deep, there's a good chance it's number 11, Isaiah Alston, who's had a knack for making spectacular catches in his career.
Alston, short, has made a nice grab early in the game. He's in the slot. Alston on the outside of him.
Alston lined up at the top of your screen.
Post route is being called. It's begging to throw it.
Daly instead runs, pretzels away from the defender, and gets inside the 45.
Big development, gentlemen. Trey Moore, their best pass rusher. 3 sacks last week against Texas State. He's on the sideline, seen him flexing his right ankle quite a bit. Saw him run into the locker room before half, and I asked Jeff Treller, the head coach, his status. He said the x-rays were negative, did not give me a specific injury in terms of what happened or where he was hurt, but this is a big development because he is the guy on the edge.
Yeah, he
A
is
freshman All-American last year.
trying to work it out with one of the trainers.
Edge pressure, and Short makes the catch. Daly saw it coming. It's enough for a first down.
Daly, his high school career, 2,175 yards, 39 touchdown passes. He had one heck of a high school career. Abernathy High School. I wonder, how's he throwing it around like this? Well, that's why. Because he's got a background in it and used to working out of this shotgun.
And he did more than just play quarterback in high school. As a senior, he caught a TD, returned a kick for a TD. Also had about 78 tackles. First down. Daly pitches to Reed. Gets the corner. And picks up a first down before bumped out by Rashad Wisdom, a game of 14.
Just kind of outruns. It's the play by Daly. You got to get somebody to take you and then still able to make the pitch. And once Reed has the ball in his hands, he's able to outrun the edge defender, Bell, to get him to the first down marker. But that play was made by Daly. You got to figure out how to get the edge player to eat you up or take the pitch man. Whichever one he takes, you do the opposite.
67 yards on the ground for Reed. Now Buchanan, the hammer, picks up 1.
And I would mix it up here if I'm Thatcher, the offensive coordinator. On early downs, maybe throw a hitch route, maybe throw a slant, something, because UTSA's selling out to stop the inside run.
Is there enough faith in the pass game?
I think so. I think they've gotten confident. Last week was huge for their confidence in terms of being able to rely on the passing game.
It's a team that ditched the traditional triple option in the offseason due to the new cut blocking rules that have been put into play the last few years. Daly keeps. And third down coming up.
You know how tough you got to be to continuously take hits like that Daly's taken, and then come back and they're asking you to be accurate when we throw the football as well. That's tough at that position. But if it's going to work, they need a guy like Bryson Daly and his toughness to do that job.
Andre, what's the magic number yardage-wise where Jeff Monken would roll the dice on 4th down?
I'm going to say if it's 8, I pick up about 6.
Daly keeps. And takes it inside the 20. It's going to bring up 3rd down, about 3 to go, or 4th down and 3 to go.
And I think that's enough to where he'll leave the offense on the field and roll the dice here. Actually, he's going to bring out his kicker.
Number Boretsky here can make it a 2-score game. Army had gone for it 4 times tonight, converted all 4 on 4th down, 8 for 8 on 4th down this season.
36 yards here.
He's hit from 45, a career long. And Boretsky's kick splits the uprights. 3 more for Army. The Black Knights have scored on every possession tonight. The plate tectonics of college football have hit the AAC. 6 new teams in the league this year after Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF left for the Big 12. SMU leaving for the ACC. They'll join the ACC next year. So you got UTSA, first year in the American, and there is chatter that Army could be a potential replacement for SMU as early as next year. Army's an independent.
Make it the Army-Navy game a conference game.
Now, what if that would be a conference championship? How would that work?
I like that.
I think that's a problem both schools would like to have.
UAB joining the conference, that's going to be tough. Trent Dilfer doing a nice job there.
Well, Eddie Lee Marburger tonight, Andre. First career start, redshirt sophomore. You're playing for a guy who, this isn't hyperbole, Frank Harris is a local legend.
I think he's been solid. 12 of 17, 107 yards, and a lot of that came in the final drive of the first half, but give him some easier throws. Quick 3-step drop stuff to where he can get his confidence. He tried to get him a little tunnel screen to start the game. More throws like that so that he gets his footing and keeps him in this thing here in the second half.
Out of a pistol. There's Kevorian Barnes.
Nice
and
tackle.
He is upended in space by Bo Nicholas Paul.
And an interception for a touchdown in the opener against ULM.
That was Army's lone touchdown in that game. Quick out, Cephas.
There's a quick 3-step game. Nice little 3-step out route for Marburger. Easy throw to a whale of good for his confidence, especially picking up the first down.
6th catch for Cephas, who had 87 last year to rank 3rd in Conference USA. Barnes through a ward of defenders. And he's close to midfield, a pickup of a dozen. Leo Lowen finally brought him down.
Well, they've got 2 good ones in Barnes and Griffin, along with Henry.
Henry's not bad either.
He's not bad at all, and they all 3 resemble one another.
Back to Barnes. Into Army territory. Andre, last year Barnes only had 6 carries in the first 6 games. Then due to injuries in game 7 against FIU, got an extended look, ran for 100+, ended up finishing the season with 5 100-yard games, and basically in a half season won the Conference USA Freshman of the Year award.
He's solid. Tough inside runner, physical, has good speed. I mentioned the fact that coming into tonight's game, he was averaging just under 5 yards per carry. You mentioned it really came on last season. It showed this coaching staff that they could rely on him. He's got to get adjusted here.
Roadrunners empty it out. This could be 4-down territory. Tunnel screen. Cephas has an opening. Open sesame. Touchdown, Cephas.
They line up 4 receivers and essentially create the man-to-man situation on the outside. And he could have gone anywhere, but he chose to go to his best option, or the best one he felt the best about, which is Joshua Cephas. And Cephas makes one guy miss. That's in the game for him. And all of a sudden, it's a track meet with Cephas leading the way. Domenico slipped and then all of a sudden, forget about it.
Tough homecoming for Max DiDomenico from Schertz, Texas, about 20 minutes outside of San Antonio, where he was a high school quarterback. A lot of family in attendance.
And the first interception of his career last week against Delaware State. You talk about a frustrating injury, a hamstring. That is so frustrating because it'll subside a little bit after a couple of days and you start to think you can get back to normal, and then it bites again.
This Army secondary last year, 3rd nationally against the pass. Now some of that is Army plays fewer possessions. They've got a lot of experience back there.
Teams feel like they can flat out push them around because they're bigger and they run the ball a lot against them, so the stats are kind of skewed in that way.
Joshua Cephas, a house call. A 2-point game at the Alamo Dome.
Oh my, pandemonium is showtime. Got their noses up, I know why.
In honor of Extra Yard for Teachers Week, ESPN is celebrating the role of teachers and their dedication to supporting each student's development inside and outside of the classroom. And on behalf of the College Football Playoff Foundation and ESPN, we recognize the passion, the commitment, and the work that teachers put in that ensure their students succeed. Kark?
Yeah, Anish, UTSA tight end Oscar Cardenas, his high school physics teacher in Brandeis, Texas. Mr. Clinton Waller had a massive impact on him. For Oscar, it was not just physics. Oscar said Mr. Waller got him to know him as a person, understand how he learned, and then he tapped into your strengths. He went on to tell me he reminds him a lot like his current coach, Jeff Traylor. And we have a $1,000 gift card for Clinton to use towards school resources for the students at Brandeis High.
Onside kick. The Roadrunners say they have it. It went 10 yards.
It looked like an Army player actually touched it as well. So
no flags on the field.
Jeff Traylor pulling out the tricks.
They are sorting through the carnage. And it's Army football.
Wow. All those orange jerseys. Oh, no, they changed it.
The ruling on the field is the ball is recovered by UTSA. First down.
They changed the call. The initial signal, Army. Take another look.
Both guys came, both head coaches came to win. I'm not for sure. It looked like one of the Army players, the upbacks, touched it. And a bunch of orange jerseys
to determine if there was illegal blocks before the ball was legal to be touched by UTSA. Timeout on the field.
I remember on an onside kick in the first 10 yards, you can't block the other team, and the ball's got to travel at least those 10 yards. A pendulum swing in San Antonio. Two things to remember on an onside kick. One, the ball's got to travel 10 yards, so that's the 45-yard line. And until that ball crosses the 45, you can't block the other team if you're the kicking team. And that's the point of contention on this replay review. Take one more look. And right before that ball crosses the 45 and goes 10 yards, Rashad Wisdom blocked Army's Casey Reynolds. So the call on the field, which was a UTSA recovery, reversed. Instead, it's a penalty for the illegal block. That is a reviewable play. And now a re-kick 5 yards further back. No onside try this time. And a chance for a return. Ijon Marshall. And he's going to be stuffed shy of the 20-yard line. Saturday night, 2 games we're highlighting in prime time. Number 11, Tennessee, travels to the Swamp to take on Florida at 7:10. Colorado State. Fighting words. Jay Norvell.
Personal.
Deion Sanders. It's personal. He's coming after his mama.
Hey, man, leave a man's mom out of it. You want a sure fight?
Colorado
Just
right now.
mention the word mama.
It just doesn't seem like a team that you want to give added motivation to.
Not the way they're rolling.
Already more wins than last year. Screen pass on first down. It's caught by Johnson. He'll throw it downfield. Alston ahead of the defense and tripped up from behind. A touchdown saving tackle by Cam Alexander and a huge gainer on first down.
If Markel Johnson throws this thing out in front of Alston, forget about it. It's 6 points, but he had to wait on it just long enough for the defense to catch up with. Army, Anish, came to win. They're just emptying the entire toy box.
Guerrilla tactics on first down. Now Daly again to the air, downfield, short, wide open, touchdown Army.
Great read by the quarterback. They slip short right up the seam. He holds the safety inside, and that gave Short the necessary room to get himself open. Easy throw and catch. Safety just gets locked down. They're in zone, so you got to manipulate the defense with your eyes. Watch the safety who's responsible. Even the one on top, he stays locked inside. And I mean, just passes him off, but there's nobody back there to pass him off to. What a drive by Army.
The PAT makes it a two-score game. With the change to the move from triple option under center to shotgun spread option, Army said they still want to be a run-heavy team. 75-25 maybe versus 90-10 before.
Yeah.
But they will throw the ball. And against UTSA last year, remember, they threw for 300 yards.
What were we talking about a little while ago? Throwing on the early downs. They have the big play. They come right back on first down. Everybody in the building's thinking run. They slip a pass right behind him. It's genius.
And again,
Drew Thatcher is called, he's called a heck of a game.
You have the onside kick. UTSA thinks they have it. Maybe a natural come down after the play. You go with the old halfback option. 55 yards, Johnson to Alston, and then the touchdown pass to Noah Short from 25 yards.
Top-ranked boxing tonight, highlighted by the 12-round main event. Luis Alberto Lopez defends his IBF featherweight belt against former champ Joet Gonzalez. Coverage on the main card begins 10 Eastern at 10 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus.
You really wanted to read that promo.
I did. I'm wondering why Dom's never gives me a promo to read. I can read.
You gonna
good at
winner,
it.
Lopez?
Maybe Lopez. I like Lopez in that one.
UTSA ball now, down by 9. Army scored on every drive this game.
All start
and up front.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Walker Beatty. His cousin, Brent Beatty, plays for the Mets.
He moved over from the D-line last season. Now, you rarely see, you have guys move over all the time, but to left tackle, usually when you move over to guard or center, not outside at tackle.
Screen pass. And out of the backfield, it's Robert Henry.
And Jackson Powell escorting him out of bounds. A nice open field tackle, made his first start. Jackson Powell last week against Delaware State, I'm sorry.
Powell's in there as a pass rusher. He plays that dog position. Off play action. Underneath.
He throws a nice ball. Willie Lee Marburger throws a nice ball. It's tight and spiral. You can tell that he's had success throwing the football before. Seems comfortable playing the position of quarterback.
First career start as Cardenas motions.
Cardenas is a big boy. 6'4", 285 pounds. Playing tight end.
Low snap. Marburger lets it fly. He wants Carpenter. Incomplete. No flag on the play. Hammonds the safety and coverage. It's 4th down.
And Jeff Traylor's giving the official to that side, anybody that'll listen, an earful. And it looked as though Hammonds got there right as the ball did. I think it's a good no call, but they're going to have to punt the football here.
You okay with that? He looked like he made a play for the receiver, not the ball.
I think he made it right at the time the ball shows up and just kind of escorts him out of bounds. I thought it was a good play. And I'd be the first as an offensive guy to tell you if I thought it was pass interference.
4th down. UTSA will punt. Here's Lucas Dean. Gets it off. Cameron Jones backpedals. Fair catch made at the 26-yard line.
Well, he doesn't like the no call. Huge turn of events on that last drive. A little trickery with Markel Johnson. Or the onside. We'll start with the onside kick. And then the trickeration comes with Johnson. The halfback pass to Alston. And then all of a sudden he finds Noah Short on a seam route right up the middle of the field.
Little speed option this time, and Daly.
How about Daly?
Whistles across the 35, a gain of 9 on 1st down.
Showing some toughness. I like that when you fake the pitch and you tuck it. Boy, that's sweet.
Now you ran that offense in high school,
High school, a little bit of it, yeah. You want to get a guy going, fake it out to the pitch man, watch him bite, one false step, and then you tuck it up. Up and inside. Excellent run by Bryson Daly there.
Second down. They'll take a shot downfield from Marshall. Too much air.
We're seeing a lot more Army through the air, and the offense has changed, obviously, with the new offensive coordinator, Drew Thatcher. Bryson Daly told me this week he threw more footballs this spring when Thatcher arrived compared to the 2 previous seasons combined. And as a quarterback, he says he absolutely loves it. He loves the creativity from his offensive coordinator and the ability to stretch the field now.
A lot of fun to play in this type of offense where you have a chance, and then it keeps everybody alert. The wide receivers, they know they're going to get balls thrown in their direction.
Let's see if they go to Buchanan on 3rd down. Up the gut.
Don't know that they got, well, yeah, they're going to have it. Barely got it.
It is a 1st down, Jacoby Buchanan.
He has been money in short yardage situations tonight for the Black Knights. Just gets enough push to move the chains.
Tonight and his whole career, that's been his MO.
He might be the only guy that's not fond of the new changes because he was getting the ball so much as a fullback in the triple option.
It's a couple of extra yards to get started now. A little downhill momentum for 255 pounds. Daly keeps.
Smart run. Smart run back up and inside where you're protected. A nice block by Hoyt. Not the Hoyt from Training Day. One of my favorite movies. Love that movie.
Are you the sheep or the wolf?
Oh yeah, could watch that every day pretty much. Some line in there.
Well, Army week 1 against ULM. With this new scheme, it looked like training day for them. The coaches admitted it as Daly keeps. And able to turn that into positive yards, or singular, a positive yard, a 3rd down. And this offense has come a long way in a couple of weeks.
They're finally hitting their stride. Struggle a little bit when you're auditioning an offense for the first game. You don't really get to work it out or the kinks out against anybody. There's no preseason. So ULM seeing it for the first time. Their Army's trying to execute it for the first time. Scored one touchdown, which was a defensive touchdown.
Daly on the slant, incomplete for Alston.
Alston looks like he didn't even put his hands up to catch that. Like he was surprised the ball was coming his way.
And this would be Army's first punt of the night. They had scored on all of their possessions prior to this one. So week 1, ULM, not a single offensive touchdown. Able to move the ball today. Last week, 57 points against Delaware State. Cooper Allen to kick it away.
Good punt.
Carpenter at his own 11-yard line, the fair catch. More than 30 AAC football games are on ESPN+. Saturday's featured matchups. You got Charlotte hosting Georgia State at 6 Eastern. UAB, Trent Dilfer, the head coach there, hosting Louisiana at 7 Eastern. If you're a fan of the American Conference, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/AAC. UAB, Charlotte, UTSA, Rice, North Texas among the newcomers in the American. The Exodus.
Rice taking out my Cougars last weekend.
Yeah, Houston Big 12 bound. Along with Cincinnati.
I was in the hotel room in Baltimore throwing stuff at the TV.
I could see that.
I was a little upset last weekend.
Only a gain of a yard. Incidentals go on your personal or the Texans card?
Well, I made the mistake of going downstairs, putting a credit card down, so it probably went on mine. Nothing broken, though.
2 tight ends in the game here on 2nd down. Haley Marburger will keep. Ooh. And he is tackled for a loss. Barney Moore got there in the backfield.
Yep, he got a crack.
He got flags all over the field.
One of the receivers coming back inside, cracking back.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block, offense number 11. After this is the goal, still 2nd down.
This pins UTSA way back, right inside their 6-yard line. An Army. Anish, I don't think they had a penalty tonight.
Army
don't want to jinx it.
Penalized.
Has not been penalized tonight. It's been a relatively clean game.
UTSA committed its 6th of the game.
6 for 41 and none.
And Army. Andre declined the penalty.
I don't know. I might have taken that one, backing them up. We're going to eat the down up to make it 3rd down and 10. Feeling pretty good about it. And then they know that if they stop UTSA here, they're going to force a punt. on this end of the field with this type of field position.
Cameron Jones playing off of Cephas near the bottom of your screen. Third down. Marburger in trouble. He's hit and incomplete toward the sideline. Wanted Ogle Kellogg. No flag in the backfield. It's fourth down.
Ogle Kellogg was trying to make up for that crackback block that he had that erased a down for Army, but they get quick pressure inside. I think it's Nathaniel Smith who comes free on the quarterback, Eddie Lee Marburger, and to force a punt here. Army, the heels planted on the 50-yard line, so any type of return is going to give them excellent field position.
Now Dean will punt from his own end zone. Jones watches this bounce to the 42. It takes a roadrunner bounce. And Dean able to flip the field. Matt Barry in the studio.
Lopez Gonzalez.
Both guys are going to be putting it all on the line tonight. Lopez doesn't fear anything.
Big right hand comes in.
Once he smells blood in the water, he's going to take you out.
Luis Alberto Lopez is still the IBF featherweight world champion.
I wasn't Matt Barry, but we're excited about the fight. You're still riding with Lopez.
Still riding with Lopez.
Johnson and Reed, the split backs. Johnson works to the outside and Cyclones to the 37, a gain of 7.
But he has been so close. He actually threw the halfback pass, but he's been close on a couple of plays where he's his finger snap from breaking along.
And that brings us to the end of the third quarter. Army up by 2 scores. Will UTSA get 2 more possessions? They'll need a stop.
About to start the fourth quarter in San Antonio. I'm with UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor. Coach, Army has the lead and they can kill a lot of clock. What's critical for your defense?
They played almost perfectly. They played a heck of a ball game. They hadn't turned the ball over yet. We got to get a turnover, get them off the field, and offensively, we got to get the ball down the field, score.
Where's your potential for a big play on offense?
Down the field, but we had a good slant go a while ago and didn't get it done. So we got to do better down the football field, getting the ball to our receivers outside lanes.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all.
To Jeff Traylor's point, Army tonight, no penalties, no turnovers, no drops, no sacks allowed, and they have scored on all but 1 possession. Now you're in the fourth quarter, Andre.
Yeah.
Again, with most teams down 2 scores, all right, you'll get the ball back twice. Not the case when you face this kind of Army team.
Yeah, they're so disciplined. They can take the air out of the football at any time. And then they do that. They start gashing you for big plays. You think pass, they're running. You thinking run, they're throwing. I mean, they have had the perfect mix all night long offensively.
Hayden Reed up to 88 yards rushing, the sophomore from Tampa. Almost double his season total through 2 games.
And it's not one back that's just been overpowering. It's just been a collective effort from all the backs playing in the backfield tonight.
This time it's Johnson, subdued at the 40. UTSA has won 17 of 18 at the Alamo Dome. Only Georgia, Michigan, and Alabama have more wins since the start of 2021. And then this Roadrunners program.
It's amazing, isn't it? Jeff Traylor's done a heck of a job. Tough football team, especially when you come into this building.
He's turned it into a program the city has rallied around, almost like a pro team. That's Buchanan, and got about a half yard. It brings up 3rd down, and from this part of the field, Army's thinking 4 plays.
Definitely thinking 4 down territory here. There's the wins you were talking about. Georgia, Michigan, and Alabama with more wins than UTSA since the start of the 2021 season. They will do well in the American as well. Trying to draw UTSA off sides.
3rd down, 8 to go. No Trey Moore for UTSA. Left the game. He was trying to warm up on the sideline a while back. Couldn't quite do it. Daly. And now this sets up 4th down from the 36-yard line. About 4 to go. I'd expect Army to go for it. They've been the aggressor all night. They've gone for it 4 times on 4th down and converted each time.
It's amazing. You see just the 3rd down success. 5 of 15, but on 4th down, when they get there, they're converting. And so they're not going to flinch, not even thinking about whether or not they're going for it. They already know when they're calling the 3rd down play, they're going for it on 4th down when you're across the 50.
Daly to the air. He's got Johnson in the flat. 1st down and then some. I'll pick up a 15.
Stared the blitz right in the face. Edge players coming free, and he stands right in there and throws accurately to Markel Johnson. And Johnson's able to convert into the 1st down. And here comes Army again down near the red zone, just outside the red zone.
And they will take their time. Up by 2 scores, 11 minutes to go. Reed is straight ahead.
No sack specialist in Trey Moore, as you mentioned. She still has not entered the game since leaving in the 2nd quarter of the locker room. And to add more of a mess for the defense for UTSA, Brandon Matterson, one of their better interior guys at defensive end, the 5th-year senior, one of the smartest guys in that unit. He was walking off to the locker room moments ago to get checked out too.
Yeah, what do they lose with Trey Moore? An explosive player that can really, really play. Coaches told us he's their best pass rusher. Had a breakout season last year and bled over into the start of this year, and they lose a tremendous amount without Trey Moore on the field.
Play clock into single digits. Here's the pitch to Reed. Fights his way to the 16-yard line. Got a couple on the play. 3rd down now for Army.
4-down territory? I think so.
From here, I'm not so sure.
When it was a 1-score game, you're taking the points to where if UTSA scores a touchdown or they don't take the lead. But here, when you have a 30-21 lead, I think you're trying to put the big points on the scoreboard. It'll depend on how close they get to this 1st down marker.
Reed. Now it's not even a point. They pick up a 1st down. It's 1st and goal.
Oh, it's amazing. Army came into the game 4 of 4 on 4th down. That's, you know, obviously 100% in the first 2 games. They're 5 of 5 tonight alone. And so not even getting to 4th down with that run by Hayden Reed.
And while the play selection has tilted more run than pass, offensively there's been some balance. 216 on the ground, 188 through the air. First and goal. That's Johnson. Not much.
I'd look for them at some point to come back with the same formation and then Daly keeping it, because everybody's crashing down inside on these early downs on 1st and 2nd down. So they're playing the inside run on 1st down. Look for him to pull, stick it into Buchanan or Reed, and then keep it out on the edges.
Well, we wondered how many possessions would UTSA get in this 4th quarter. This is the 12th play for Army, this drive.
And every snap's being snapped under 5 seconds.
It's about 7 minutes long. Johnson again inside the 5. 3rd down and goal. And again for Army, it's almost a mild victory not to get in before 3rd or 4th down, because you can just burn more clock.
That's exactly what they want. When you have a 9-point lead like this, you can just take your time. And I'm serious, when you just watch the play clock, and it's at 24, 23 seconds now, it'll get all the way down inside the 5 seconds before they snap it. They're just going to eat it up and limit the amount of times that UTSA will control it.
3 tight ends. Here's Daly behind Buchanan. Short. He's going to be short. All right, Andre, 4th and goal. You going for it?
If it's a little bit closer, I might go for it. I would kick the field goal here and make it 33-21. But
field goal keeps it a 2-possession game. Touchdown and the extra point. It's 37-21. Maybe you go for 2 and you make it a 3-score game, essentially putting it out of reach.
I would probably take the points right here. If I couldn't draw them off sides, take the points.
They may just run the clock down.
They couldn't run it down to 5 and then.
Don't go for it. It's Daly, and he's in. 5 for 5 on 4th down tonight.
Unbelievable push. You get Buchanan with a block, and Daly is lowering his shoulder pads and finding a way into the end zone.
When you saw 33 in the game, you knew it was either going to him or it was going behind him.
Unreal.
They take the extra point, 37-21. So UTSA needs 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. Vintage Army, 14 plays, 70 yards, 8.5 minutes come off the clock. It's about as big a loss for this program as it gets. And the Roadrunners down 16, needing 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. They'll have it at their own 25-yard line when we come back.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks.
The Alamo Dome has seen some big events. Michael Jordan, NBA All-Star Game MVP here in '96. Sue Bird and UConn won the championship in 2002. Villanova cut down the nets for the men's in 2018. Warriors Spurs this past January set a new NBA record for single game attendance, 68,000 plus. Now the moment is now for redshirt sophomore Eddie Lee Marburger making his first career start. 16 of 23, 167 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. Hands it off on first down to Rocco Griffin. UTSA has run the ball pretty well today. Before that one, more than 6 yards per carry. Just with where the game is, there's not going to be too much of that.
Well, just doing an outstanding job of bottling up this running game of the Roadrunners.
Marburger lets it fly downfield. Orville Kellogg makes the catch. He's gone. 72 yards. His second touchdown of the game.
Orville Kellogg got behind.
That was Devin McEwen. That was number 14.
McEwen got behind.
Got launched up, looked like an 11.
It did. The numbers are kind of hard to read, but McEwen got behind Casey Larkin, and all of a sudden it was just a foot race. What a throw by Eddie Lee Marburger. His job is setting up the safety, nobody in the middle of the field, and he just puts the proper amount of air under it. That's what wins on the play. It was the throw. Don't sprinkle dirt on the Roadrunners yet.
Now they need this 2-point conversion to make it a 1-score game. Marburger moves the pocket, throws, got it. That's McEwen again. Beep, beep. 37-29, 1-score game.
When you can score that fast like the Roadrunners, you're never out of it. Over the top to Marburger. From Marburger, 37-29.
Tomorrow night at 7 Eastern, number 11 Tennessee heading to the Swamp to take on Florida. Then game day setting up shop in Boulder. Deion Sanders and Colorado taking on Colorado State. Everybody's in Boulder. First Take, Pat McAfee, game day. Bringing the G7 summit there too, maybe, who knows?
Great interview with Deion and Coach Prime today. Pat show.
Army was playing for the onside kick, and UTSA kicks it out of the end zone. So Army will bring it out to the 25-yard line. Andre, this Army team can take 6-12 all the way down to the finish line. They've had 3 drives already tonight, either that long or more.
Yeah, and you look at the possessions. 8 possessions tonight, 4 touchdown drives, 3 for field goals, and they punted just once. 71% of the plays have been run in UTSA territory. That's going to get you a lot of wins over the course of a season. This one, though, for Army, unfortunately, starting at their own 25-yard line.
Knowing what Army's going to try to do, bleed the clock, move the chains methodically. If you're UTSA, you get them behind the chains. Are you thinking timeout, even though there's a lot of time left?
I think so, because you got to preserve every amount, every second that you can. You know, wait to do it. But I would do it on first down, and for second and about 7 or so, I would take the timeout. As you're 1 score down, you need the time with an inexperienced quarterback.
Now, what Marburger has shown tonight is an incredible deep ball.
Somebody better get out there and line up on Austin before it's a quick snap and a touchdown pass.
Army's got it 2nd and 7. UTSA loads up the box, and Daly brings it out to the 30. So 3rd down, 5 to go now. A chance here for the Roadrunners to get off the field. Army, they have been in aggressor mode all night. This doesn't even shock me if they picked up 3 or 4 and decided to call a play on 4th down.
But this is where they like to live. This is, right in their wheelhouse. A 3rd down and 5, 3rd and medium. And if they were closer to midfield, it'd be a no-brainer that it would be 4-down territory. It brought life back to this crowd.
Daly will throw, and it's incomplete, intended for short. Army goes to the air. It's 4th down, 5 to go.
Zay Frazier with coverage on the back end.
And here comes the punt team. So this Roadrunner defense did what it needed to do. They got to stop, and they'll give the offense one more chance here with 4:45, at least one more chance.
It might have been Ken Robinson, the safety. These jerseys of UTSA, the 2 looks like a 1, the 1 looks like a 2.
2 looks like a 7 sometimes.
Yeah.
Joshua Cephas waits at the 30-yard line. Carpenter, one of the return men.
What a punt.
UTSA was seen carted off a little while ago. Cephas from inside the 20. He's got the 30. Out of bounds across the 35-yard line. Got some late drama in San Antonio. 4:34 to go. UTSA all 3 timeouts, and the ball down 8. Last year, Army UTSA week 2 over in West Point. Army jumped out to a 28-14 lead midway through the 3rd. The Roadrunners rallied back behind Frank Harris. He led 3 straight touchdown drives, gave the Roadrunners a 6-point lead. Army would eventually send the game into overtime in OT. DeCorian Clark, who's currently injured, the game-winning touchdown reception, and UTSA would win 41-38. Well, no Frank Harris today. He is out with a toe injury. Eddie Lee Marburger has hit a couple of gorgeous deep balls. 17 of 24, 239, 3 TDs, no picks, and his first career start. He loads up, launches deep downfield, incomplete. Intended for McEwen again, using that speed. A lot of contact after the ball sailed, no flag.
Oh, and that was there. The post route was there. If he takes just a little bit of air out of the ball and drives it, that might be complete to McEwen.
Domenico, local product, was in coverage.
Well, this is all you could ask for with the dominance and time of possession by Army before this drive started. Jeff Traylor, this just an opportunity was all you wanted.
On 3rd and 7, here's the blitz, and Army gets in the backfield. Jackson Powell, the sack.
What an athletic play by Powell. Had a sack last week. He's going to do the same thing this week. Excellent play off the edge by Jackson Powell. Up and under, and he's able to get there.
It's 4th down. The punt team comes on. Army just brought its return man, Cameron Jones, back to his defensive back position. They're playing for the fake. And UTSA will punt it away. Army did not want to have one man back
It
deep
took an
just
Army
in
bounce.
case UTSA faked it. They tried the onside kick earlier, and this one downed just inside the 25-yard line. So Army's got it back, 3:12 to go. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts. Army on the ground tonight, 229 yards. Reed has led the way with 104. Daly, the quarterback, 76 on the ground, and Buchanan's come up with some big plays.
Well, when they've needed the short yardage back, it's been Buchanan. They get in rhythm and get on schedule. It's been Buchanan who has pretty much done the job. The early downs has been Reed, and then you sprinkle in some Bryson Daly. This offense has been magical for Jeff Monken.
Now they feed Buchanan.
Yeah, guess who's going to get it?
And a timeout called by UTSA.
First charge
And that's what we were talking about.
UTSA.
The previous possession, when you have some success against Army, stopping it on the early downs, take the timeouts, trying to get one more possession here for your young quarterback.
And Andre, before the punt, you wondered, would UTSA go for it? There was still a lot of time left. They had 3 timeouts. You wonder how much confidence the coaching staff had because the Roadrunners did get a stop the last time.
Well, 2nd and 7, dialing up that deep shot. I'm thinking either run the ball or something quick where you eat into it. Now you're down to 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, and it makes it more of a situation where you can convert with a young quarterback. Look at that time of possession, 41-15 to 15-38. Limiting possessions is what Army, they kind of pride themselves on that.
Army keeps it on the ground. It's Daly, the quarterback. He's to the 30. It sets up a 3rd and 5.
Big down here.
Second charge.
And another timeout by UTSA.
UTSA.
This is where, if you're the Roadrunners, that depth on the D-line, the ability to go 8-9 deep.
Yeah.
Time of possession doesn't worry you as much as maybe if you had a 5- or 6-man rotation.
You take care of business and hold without giving up a first down here to UTSA. You almost think the Army's got to punt the football. Where they are on the field, wouldn't gamble with a 37-29 lead, force a young quarterback to go the length of the field. And you just got to hold up right here, which is why it's so important for UTSA. Biggest down of the football game is Army. They pick up a first down without any more timeouts. It's pretty much over. You got to feel pretty good about it. And then if you're UTSA, you get off the field as quickly as you've scored. You got to feel pretty good about it. Your chances.
85 crossing in motion. They've run behind him plenty tonight. They'll do it again. This is Daly.
Oh boy.
He gets free.
Turf
surrenders to the earth as he crosses the 40 and picks up a first down.
The old turf monster has reached up and grabbed Bryson Daly by the ankle because it was getting ready, Anise, to turn into a foot race. They do a great job up front on the offensive line. just blowing everybody out. Lucas Scott with a big block to free up his quarterback. And then all of a sudden, the turf. He is getting ready to take off.
Lucas Scott making his second career start.
Could be the best thing to happen to Army all night long with the clock continuing to run.
Now we'll bleed the clock some more as Reed gets across the 45. UTSA calls a timeout.
I try to tell my AAU basketball team that when we get to a certain point in the game and we have a lead, we no longer need to score. They play it sometimes like we're playing a pickup game or a street ball game where you just score, get to a score, and it's over. No, you have to bleed the clock out, and you don't need to score. That's exactly what Army has right here. You have a lead with 2:16 left. All you're trying to do is kill the clock. Run the clock out, and let's get out of here and fly back to West Point.
Okay, now go back to your playing days at Houston. Do you want to kill the clock?
When you get in a situation like this where, you know, if you're throwing it around, absolutely you want to run the clock out. But I'd like a bigger lead than
I'd like for 600 yards.
I'd like to think we have a bigger lead than this.
Your worry was we got to put up points in the first half because I may not get to play in the second half.
It's always a concern.
Roadrunners now out of timeouts. Daly to midfield. It's third down, and Army.
That is the Army way right there. Couple of yards on first, couple of yards on second, third and short.
How about the schedule? Army goes to Syracuse, Orange off to a 2-0 start. Then Boston College, Troy, and LSU. That's a 3-game stretch, 4-game stretch.
That is a manageable schedule without that trip plugged in there to at SMU. That's 2 tough road games. At Syracuse, at LSU, certainly a tough one. But everything else on that schedule, you got to feel like is manageable for this Army team.
Now on third down, Daly again, the keeper. And he's got the first down. That should do it.
That will do it. Now you're just in victory formation, and you run the clock out.
San Antonio is Military City, USA.
He is pumping that fist. He feels it. He knows. Experienced player, a senior, he knows what that means when you pick up that first down. Now we're in victory formation. Let's kneel this thing down and get out of here.
This is a statement for Army. When you think of, again, a team that had been associated with the traditional triple option for years. You change a scheme. For the first game against ULM, they frankly did not look good. And Jeff Monken even told us, I'm not sure how much I can take away from a 57-0 win against Delaware State. UTSA was picked to finish second in a very good American conference. This is looked at as a premier team. I know we don't say Power 5, Group of 5 anymore, whatever designation you want to use. This is a team that returned a lot of experience, 5th, 6th, 7th year guys. Yes, injuries played a part today for UTSA. But Army to come in here and win on Friday night, that emotion is real for Jeff Monken. The Roadrunners had won 7 in a row and 17 of 18 in this building until the Black Knights from the Hudson stormed into the Alamo Dome tonight.
Heck of a job in terms of a near perfect game, scoring on a multitude of possessions. It's been amazing.
Army did it on 4th down tonight, 6 of 6. On 4th down, they did it on the ground, 254 rushing. The Black Knights get to 2-1. They go on the road and knock off UTSA in the Alamo Dome. Final score 37-29.